Hello and welcome to Cooking the Books with Heather. Today it's fall. It is almost Thanksgiving. Got almost 2 weeks, not quite, before Thanksgiving, but we're going to be making today. Oh gosh, I changed the page before I told you guys. But we're going to be making today Williams Spatchcocked Turkey with Bread Salad from Teresa Carle-Sanders' second Outlander Kitchen cookbook. And this is one of those ones that has several pages, but I think I'll be okay and not have to change it very much because most of it's on this page. Well, no, never mind. There's a lot. This is like 4-page recipe, so it'll be a while. But I did prepare, so hopefully we can get this all done and not have a 3-hour video. So this is the breastbone. We're not cutting that. That is the reverse spatchcock, which we did on chickens on purpose from the Sam Jones cookbook recently. But we're going to be cutting out the backbone. And that's this side. And this is not easy because the bones of a turkey are much harder to cut than the bones of a chicken. So I've got a couple of different implements here that we're gonna see if we can use. Might need both of them. Sometimes one works better than the other, but you can use your kitchen shears, but they have to be pretty tough. We're gonna go from both sides here. Sometimes one side is usually easier to cut than the other. And this keeps getting stuck in the closed position. And it's not cutting the skin very well. So we'll try this one. It's also not cutting the skin very well. Now this is a small-ish turkey. It's a 12 to 14 pounds as the recipe calls for, which definitely makes it easier to cut this, cut the backbone out. I would not try this with a very large turkey. It'd be really hard, really hard. All right, that was tough, but I think we're done with these for now. We got some more ice in here. It's been in the refrigerator for a week and it's still got ice in the middle, so I think it's fine. Next thing we're gonna do is turn it over and try to break the breastbone a little bit. I need this towards me, I think. All right, so the goal is for everything to sort of spread out a little bit. I think I need to cut this this bit away because it's keeping the thighs together and I don't want that. They need to be able to separate. Sanitize, that's what I mean. We need to sanitize this whole area when we're done. Now, got lots of little bits of chicken everywhere. Chicken, turkey, sort of everywhere, but I think we can open this up like that. I think that's good. I think that's good. We're gonna end up tucking these wings down here, but we're gonna have to also season this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this, I think we're going to use this to make some stock, but I'm going to get this onto our pan and clean some stuff up so we can get this seasoned. And I need to check to see if I'm pretty sure I need to use this stuff. So I'm going to need to check that too before I clean some stuff up, because the rest of the neck and everything is sitting in my sink in the bag. So give us a minute. We'll clean up. So she says to get everything else ready first, but before I clean this up, I'm going to chop up the neck, the backbone, and the giblets and put them in this pot, because we're going to be making some stock from those, and I didn't want to accidentally throw them away, and I don't want to clean this up before I do that, because it's just more raw turkey. So any little bits, I'm just going to make them fit in this pot. Yeah, it's really dirty over there. Fine. These are the giblets, including the liver and the heart and the gizzards. So I'm just going to put all of that in there. I'm going to put this that I cut off in there. And then this, I'm going to try and cut some. There we go. Whatever. It'll fit in the pot. That's all that matters. And now I can clean up. Okay. So I need some salt and some pepper added to my rosemary. So where is my rosemary? Here it is. So I have some chopped fresh rosemary. Salt. And then a lot of pepper. All right, that'll be good. I'm gonna mix this up. There we go. I only got some of it on my counter. That's fine. We're gonna move this over here, and now I'm about to we're gonna use all of this, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to put some olive oil on the bird, and then we're going to season it up. So I'm supposed to measure this, but I decided that I was not going to do that because my hands are about to get really messy, and it doesn't really matter. What'll stick will stick. And then we're going to season this side. Trying to use approximately half. Get this off. Now I'm going to turn it over and put some oil on the skin side. First, I'm going to get it situated the way we want, which is to put those wing tips back there, trying to keep the legs so they don't go over. And now I need my assistant to come put some olive oil on here for me, because I don't want to touch the olive oil bottle. No. I heated my oven to 550 degrees and it is now ready, and this goes in on it says the lower rack. Mine's going to be kind of in the middle. It's fine as long as it fits without touching anything else. I've already messed up because there's supposed to be some stuff underneath here. So, and it's supposed to be covered with foil, which I don't really care about. So I'm not going to bother with that. So I'm not going to cover it with aluminum foil. I'm just going to use this pan, and we're going to put, so we're going to put some lemon wedges. She says you can also use your preserved lemons, which we have made on the channel, and I'll link that above. You can use 2 of those if you'd prefer, but I've got fresh because we finished up all of our preserved lemons. The recipe will show you later. About 2/3 of these chopped onions. I assume the rest is going in with our giblety bits to make some stock. There we go. That's enough for me. And some thyme sprigs that I'm just gonna scatter. There we go. And now, put my bird back on top. There we go. All right. Now we're going to put it in the oven at 450 degrees. Okay. Okay. Oh, and we're supposed to reduce the temperature to 425 now. So we're going to roast that, rotating the pan once or twice until the thigh is 165 degrees, 70 to 80 minutes. But while that's happening, I've already roughly chopped the stuff, made it fit in the saucepan. We're going to cover this with water by 2 inches and bring it to a boil over high heat. Okay, so we're going to bring that to a boil and let it boil for 1 minute. Reduce the heat to a simmer, and we're going to skim the surface because sometimes a lot of yucky protein bits come to the top. And then we're going to add the rest of our onion and some bay leaves, and we're going to simmer that for 45 minutes. So I don't know if we're going to show you any of that, but we're basically making a little bit of a turkey stock with the extra bits that we're not going to use. And then we're going to spend a lot of time cleaning up because we'll have like an hour at least before our turkey's done. We skimmed the stuff off the top. It was gross, but it came off pretty easily. We reduced the heat. We added bay leaves and the rest of our onion. And now we're gonna let that go for 45 minutes. And at that point, we're gonna strain it. I don't know, I might just let it sit there until we're absolutely ready for it, but I'm gonna let it simmer for at least 45 minutes. Excuse the cleanup that's going on. Anyway, we'll see you back when we're ready to do another part of this recipe. It's been just about 90 minutes, about an hour and a half, and our turkey is done. I just pulled it out of the oven and it needs to rest for at least 30 minutes, I think, 20 to 30 minutes before we carve it. So now it's time for us to continue with our bread salad and gravy. We're gonna make gravy too. So we're gonna strain our stock. What I did was just turned it on low and put a lid on it so we didn't boil away too much of the liquid. And now I'm gonna strain it. And I need about a quart of it, so that's about all I'm gonna strain right now. For this, I do have a defatter, but I'm gonna just try not to get too much of the fat here. Because really we don't want that for this. We're gonna start with butter. We just don't want the solids for our gravy. It smells delicious. I'm just gonna dump the rest of this back in here, and I'm gonna keep it warm on the stove so it doesn't, start developing any yucky stuff. But if I need a little extra liquid in my gravy, I can always grab it from here. So I'm gonna take care of this, put this to the side. All right, this is my turkey, and I need to move the rack over here because what I need to do is get all of these drippings strained to use them. So I'm gonna move the turkey back over to the stove because we don't need to do anything, and we just are letting it hang out, cool, so it won't completely lose all of its juice when we carve it in a bit. And then what I need to do is get all of these drippings strained because we don't want all of the bits. We just want the fat and the juice at this point. So all of that is great flavor. Plus it will have all of that lemon. Just trying to get all of this juice because we're going to use it in 2 different applications. Okay, that'll be good. So now we have the drippings, and this is no longer very hot. So we're gonna make some gravy. Said so a lot. We're gonna make some gravy now. I have butter. I used unsalted butter. I don't know if she says to use unsalted or not, but I'm just melting it over medium heat. I normally would make my gravy in a pan, like a fry pan, but I figure this saucier will work out pretty well too. And I had room on my stove for it without moving my turkey, so we're good. Which the turkey is still giving off some juices. Anyway, so butter is pretty much melted. I'm gonna add the flour. This will be the thickener for our gravy. This is all-purpose flour. I'm going to whisk it and cook it. She says about 3 minutes until it's golden. You need to cook out the raw flour taste. We're making a roux. I'm gonna call that good. It's definitely cooked out the raw flour taste. Now we're going to slowly drizzle in, according to her, I'm not usually that slow about it, our quart of stock that we made, but we want to whisk the whole time to make sure that we don't get lumps. Once you have it lump free and pretty liquid, you can add it a lot faster. So there's that. Now we're going to add the other half of our pan juices. This will give it a nice color, and it'll add some of that flavor from the rosemary and the lemon. And we're going to bring this to a boil and reduce it to a simmer and whisk it occasionally as needed until it's a gravy thickness that you like. She says about 10 minutes of simmering, but you know, however you like your gravy. And then we're going to season it because we will need to salt this because there's no salt in our stock at all. So this took a while to get up to a boil, and I'm going to reduce the heat a little bit now and let it simmer while we do the rest. My bread salad is warmed in the oven, and I just left it there until we're ready to deal with it. It does need a little salt, so I'm going to put a little bit of salt and some pepper, and then I'll taste it again, and we're going to just let it simmer. We're going to let it simmer and thicken up a bit more while we finish off the bread salad. Let me give it a taste. I like my gravy kind of thick, and this is not quite thick enough for me, but it always thickens up as it cools, so we will just let it simmer. A little more salt. Go. Gonna call that good. We're gonna see you over there to finish off our bread salad. On this episode of Cooking the Books with Heather, you watched me make William's spatchcocked turkey with bread salad. And I think my editor has told me that we are splitting these up into 2 videos because it's really long. So right now we're going to talk just about the turkey. And they really are very separate. You only use a little bit of the drippings in the bread salad, so it's pretty easy to separate them, and you could make them separately for sure. And you don't even have to use that, because you can make it vegan, make the bread salad vegan. Anyway, so this is a really good turkey recipe if you have a smaller turkey, because spatchcocking a turkey is kind of difficult. And if it's too big, it really won't fit on a normal size sheet pan, which I think are technically half sheet pans. But those are the pretty big ones. I don't know if a full sheet pan would even fit in my oven. So in a standard oven, I don't think you'll get a full sheet pan. So if you have a relatively small turkey, so the 12 to 14 pound range, and you want to get it done really quickly and you don't have time to brine it, dry it in the refrigerator or wet brine it or any of that, you can do this recipe and it will be done in like a little over an hour. So I think ours took an hour and a half in the oven, and I think I cooked it a little bit longer than she said. So I like my turkey generally, I pull it when the breast is at about 160 and the thigh is about 180, whereas she said to cook it until the thigh is 160. And I like it better when the thigh is a little bit more done. And that tends to work out. They tend to be at about the same time. So you can do that, and all you have to do is mix up your herbs, salt the turkey, well, after you spatchcock it, which takes some muscle and some time, but it definitely cuts off the time for the cooking. So, and then you can use the backbone for stock for gravy, which is what we did. The gravy was a little thin for my preferences. I prefer my gravy a little thicker, but you can definitely just put in less of the stock if you like it thicker, less than a quart, and then just thin it if necessary. So next time I would probably do that rather than just adding all of it. But it was really good. It was very tasty. It was the turkey tasted really good. The meat was juicy, even though I pulled it a little bit later than she said. Even the breast meat was really juicy. And I would certainly do this again. And you know, if it's Thanksgiving and you're just looking for a quick way to cook your turkey, you can do it just like this. If you've enjoyed watching me make this, please give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, share this with your friends, and come back and watch me make something else next week.